If you want to get early access to all of our daily videos, please consider joining our Patreon. I'll put a link below. Here it is on the screen. Again, you get early access to all the daily videos, ad-free, early, before anyone else gets to see them. Have at it. And you can help support the channel. So you're a UFO whistleblower and you need money. Who do you go to? Apparently, billionaires.
We've been talking to all the guests about UFOs and UAPs.
Welcome to Conspiracy Corner.
You have a point of view on UFO UAP phenomena?
I do.
This is Mark Pincus. He's a billionaire. 1.4 billion to be exact, and he started Zynga Poker. That's how he made all his money, which later turned into just this huge conglomerate of gaming. And turns out Mark Pincus was pitched about a UFO project by a very well-known new whistleblower that just came out, Jake Barber. And the project was Skywatcher. And this is what Mark had to say about that.
And I guess everyone else has too, so I won't be that weird an outlier. So first of all, I'll just say, I don't believe in UAPs, UFOs, and I don't not believe in them. And I'm just curious about it. And I've had this theory that something is going to happen, that we're going to break our current understanding of physics theory and our physics laws. And so I've been looking for that moment. And one of those is around the UAPs.
Quick note, I have to admit, I like what Mark is saying here. I tend to agree with a little bit of this, to be honest with you. Yeah, maybe all of it.
So I've been more and more curious and digging more and more. And I started working with a friend who made the movie Icarus on the idea of like a Netflix docuseries. I thought it should be funny and have somebody like a Larry David kind of character narrating it. But he said, maybe. He came back to me. He's making a documentary about the fentanyl crisis and how documenting how China has dumped it here. And he said, you've got to meet with me and this guy. While he was working on that, he was interviewing a former DOD contractor who had worked for them for decades and said, I've got a lot on fentanyl, but I have this whole other thing to show you about these UAPs. And he'll just tell you his claim.
Hang on a second. What? Okay, so let's break this down real quick. So the director of Icarus, which, by the way, was an Oscar-winning documentary about the drug crisis in, sports, right? Olympic sports. And the director started working with this, Russian scientist who uncovered, all these, PEDs, performance-enhancing drugs that athletes were being given, right? And it's a phenomenal documentary. So apparently this guy is now working on a fentanyl crisis documentary, right? It coming from China to the United States, I would imagine. And he's interviewing this DOD contractor about the fentanyl crisis. And then he says, hey, I also know this stuff about UAPs. What the heck is going on?
So they came and met with me, and we had to meet outside and put our phones in Faraday bags.
Faraday bags. Yeah.
Faraday bags. So it was a good setup, if nothing else. And he claimed that in running these war games for the Defense Department, it inadvertently was summoning these UAPs, these drones. And he had tons and tons of video of it and classified them. I'm just telling you what he told me.
Let me guess. All the drone videos look like they were shot on an 8mm 1968 camera.
Wait, hold on, Jason.
Yeah, hold on, Jason. Wait, what are we talking about? Did he just say that when the United States government is performing, war games, that UAP come out of nowhere? Right? They're attracted, that they're activating UAP or something. Am I hearing this right? And something else that's interesting is he's saying these UAP are drones.
Mark, just explain this. So the United States is simulating war games.
Yeah.
And what is it doing exactly that's causing these drones to show up?
He did not tell me what were the
games.
What were the exact triggers?
That's the best question to ask. What are the triggers? What is causing the UAP or drones to show up? I'm really surprised Mark didn't ask that question.
But he said different things would trigger a different one, and he classified them. And he said some of them were aggressive from an electronics and would take out electronics and communications.
Wow.
And he was interested, and my friend was interested in saying, okay, can you put up a couple people $1.5 million to recreate this and film this? And I thought about it. I even had him go meet with Reed.
So basically, he just said that he was asked to give a little over $1 million, right, to simulate war games, so to attract these drones, right, to bring them out. Simulate war games? I thought they could just, Skywatcher and the team can just telepathically communicate with these NHI, right? But they don't need to simulate war games. Why would you need $1 million to do that, right? A little over $1 million. This is so strange. And was that the full investment for that? Or was it for more, right? Because it sounds like it was just to do one experiment, right? A little over $1 million to do one little experiment. Right? What's going on here? I don't understand. This isn't making any sense, right? This is getting a little confusing, and I'm going to wrap this kind of all up at the end. So stay with me. We're not done yet.
And didn't move quickly. And then he went dark on us and stopped responding. And then some friends of mine went to a gathering and it was on multiple things related to this. And they said that this guy was there and that he summoned one of these. They kind of said it looked like a large drone.
Okay, first of all, why are they beeping out, where they went? I'm pretty sure it's the Esalen Institute, which I covered in a live stream, right? So this is all kind of adding up here. It fits. I'm pretty sure this is it. I don't know 100% because it is bleeped out, but I'm pretty sure it's the Esalen Institute that Jake Barber has gone to, right? So basically saying they didn't move quickly enough on this investment. Jake Barber goes silent, stops responding, moved on to other investors, and shows up at this Esalen Institute and summons an orb. And to be honest, if it's not Jake Barber, it's definitely someone part of the Skywatcher team, right? This is, in my opinion, clearly all about Skywatcher and, Jake Barber and his team. I guess I could be wrong, but I don't think so.
And my friends showed me some pictures that they took, which were it was at night and they were really grainy.
Come on, stop.
I'm not making this up. I'm just telling you.
Just one piece of advice with this documentary film stuff. You know how to make $100 million in documentary films, right, Pincus?
Yeah, start with $1 billion.
Start with $1 billion. You're the Mark in all of this. You're just a Mark. This guy needs $1 million to finish his house or something in Topanga Canyon.
Yeah, I don't think Jason's wrong here, right? The guy with the glasses just said that, right? It's like Mark is the Mark, right? Quite literally. And they needed money from him, right? They don't move quick enough, so whatever. Some of his friends end up at the Esalen Institute, right? Or Esalen Institute. And they see Jake or someone from the Skywatcher team do this, right, summoning of drones. And they take some grainy pictures, of course, because it's at night, of course, right? It's always in the low information zone, right? Where we can't just whatever. So, but the idea that, this billionaire, right, is they just want his money. If he wasn't a billionaire, would they have gone to him? Now, you'd say, well, Patrick, people need investments. They go to people with money who make investments. I get it, for sure. But the idea that he could be the Mark, quite literally, because they went to him, they didn't respond, and then he ghosts them. He stops responding to them, right? It just kind of shows you just want the money. Just give me the money. You don't really care. And people like to invest in relationships too, right? Not just the money, right? It's about building a relationship because you want to make sure that that investment comes back. But hey, what do I know? I'm just a YouTuber.
Fair.
And you're the way to do it. So
I didn't fund
you're the
it.
mark.
I didn't fund it.
Okay, good.
So all I'm saying is that I think that there's a possibility that there is
looking for
some
a reason
kind of
to believe.
drone that's getting that is showing up, and I'm not saying it's even from from non-human making.
It's his use of the word drone, right? So he believes that a drone is showing up, and he's not saying it's not non-human. So what does it look like? Like, does it have features of man-made drones, or what is the deal? Like, what is showing up, right? I don't know. It's so interesting in his use of the word drone.
I believe it. I am looking, I'll be honest, because I am looking for a reason to believe in this. I'll be honest. Like, I know my bias. I am very sympathetic when I hear these stories. I listen way too long, to the podcasts on this stuff.
Are you donating to Alex Jones?
No, but
are you a subscriber?
Okay, how about this? Are we convinced that there has been absolutely zero unidentified object inside some vault buried deep somewhere in either the US or national state government somewhere? Are we guaranteed that the odds of that are zero? And I say no, it's non-zero.
Okay, let's do our what is it? Fermi paradox? Freeberg? Fermi paradox? Why aren't if there are aliens, why haven't we seen them? Quick around the horn.
I'm not
I've
saying
already
that. I'm
done
just
my
saying
point on this.
there is a UAP that has been unidentified, that is sitting inside some vault somewhere in a state government in the world.
So your position is the aliens have come.
No, stop
It's
saying
being
aliens.
covered
No,
up.
you make the whole thing seem ridiculous when you say aliens. I'm not saying that. I'm saying
Okay, visitors from another planet.
no. Stop with the visitors. Let's just put it this way: a vehicle that doesn't have to have anything inside it. A vehicle could be autonomous and unmanned.
Okay.
Are the odds exactly zero? No.
But with billions of planets, it would, logic would make you think that one has come already, right? That's with this billions of inhabitable planets and species out there. Somebody must be ahead of us. But the other conclusion of Fermi's paradox is we statistically are the highest a society has ever gotten, and we have yet to send our probes out to the rest of the universe, although we have sent probes, Freeberg, to Uranus. All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. This is the All In Podcast. Disgraziad.
Way to bring that in.
Disgraziad.
And of course, Jason makes the Uranus joke, right? Look, this is an interesting conversation that I'm sure many people have with their friends, right? Kind of like this, kind of goes back and forth. They stop making fun of it. We're talking about this, that, the other, whatever. But the idea that, first of all, can you separate, the pilots from the craft? I mean, somebody's got to have either manufactured the craft or is piloting it. So at the end of the day, bringing up aliens fits perfectly, to be honest, in my opinion. But, how can we have the craft, but you don't want to talk about who made it or, manufactured it? Kind of doesn't make sense. But, I mean, he is right that the odds aren't zero, but that doesn't mean it's plausible, But regardless, it's an interesting thought from this co-host who is, quite into this, it seems like. But let's get back to the Skywatcher part, right? And this investment, right? Because that's what I'm most curious about. They were saying they wanted to simulate war games to bring out these drones and film it, right? But again, the theory is that you have to hook up hybrid psionic people to machines to get these drones or UAP to come out. And on top of that, you have, just regular old people can learn how to do it. And then now you've got war game simulations have to happen for this to happen, right? And then you have people like Lou Elizondo that talk about projects where they're getting whole battleship fleets together to sort of bring out UAP. I mean, Is that the war game scenario? Right? I just don't know what's going on. None of this makes sense, right? How exactly can these UAP be brought out? Because if at one end of the spectrum, it's just your average everyday person could do it, and then on the other end of the spectrum, you got to simulate war games, why would you even do any of that? Doesn't make sense. And again, this whole story that's coming out about psionic children and psionic people and, from, third world countries. And I mean, what are we talking about? This is getting ludicrous, right? Now, you may be wondering, Patrick, what are you talking about? I made a video about Danny Sheehan yesterday, which I highly recommend watching, that kind of plays into this too. So again, I don't know about you, but I'm utterly confused at the end of the day how this all adds up together. So anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments. We'll see you guys in the next video. Remember, every day's a gift, y'all. Peace.
I live inside my own world of make-believe. Kids screaming in the cradles, profanities. I see the world through ice covered in ink and bleach. Cross out the ones who heard my cries and watched me weep.